So my main topic, this is something I don't think you and I have truly fleshed out. So, and we're going to be probably different than the viewers out there. But I want to hear like your thoughts too. So make sure you comment below and you talk about your thoughts on this topic. What do you think matters the most in a guitar? Is it the guitar shape? Is it the wood of the guitar that it's made out of? Or is it the pickup? Because a lot of people say that it's just the pickup. A lot of people say it's the guitar and the wood. Do you think there's one thing that affects it more than anything else?
Yep.
And you're going to say the player.
I'm going to say the player.
Yeah, I knew that.
Player.
But talk about the player first and then we can get into the rest.
Okay. The number one thing that affects the guitar most over anything is number one, the player. If you don't think that's real, it's completely real. You can go and listen to all the demos you want of different guitars. That is fantastic. We stand true on demos suck. And the reason why is the player. The reason why is the way it's recorded. It's the whole nine. But the player will change the sound of a guitar.
I know.
I will make this guitar sound like Casey Fisher is playing this guitar. And then when I hand it to Tom Bukovac, he will make it sound like it's Tom Bukovac's guitar.
Right.
And it won't even sound kind of similar.
No.
That dude has got a touch that nobody else has, just like Eddie did, just like all these other players do.
Yep.
It's 100% about the player. We've had numerous occasions where a player with a very specific rig played somebody else's rig and plugged straight into like a Fender Deluxe or something, and they happen to sound just like them.
Right.
It's definitely the player. Let's move on from that, because we know that's true.
The player matters the most, their hands, their touch, everything.
Number one. After that, I think, okay, here we go into that whole debate with everything. I fall on the consensus of nothing is more important. Like, they're all equal. Everything is, in the grand scheme of things, is all equal. The shape of the guitar, the wood, the pickups, the electronics that's built in it is all equal. It all makes an equal difference in the sound. I think that it's a whole system that works together, and if you change one thing and move it from another, if you take a Tele bridge and you move it onto a Les Paul, it's going to completely change the sound of that guitar. So don't tell me that guitar is going to still sound like a Les Paul, or it's going to sound just like a Tele. It's not. It's going to sound more like a Tele. Scale length's different. Everything about it's different. Different wood. We've all played those guitars that are like Paranormal Access guitars, or Paranormal...
Parallel Universe.
Parallel Universe. Thank you, guitars.
Paranormal Activity. Watch out.
Parallel Universe guitars. But where they mix like Strats and Jazzmasters and like Teles and Jazzmasters or whatever it is, and they don't feel the same or play the same.
No.
They're
a cool hybrid.
I personally don't think that any of it plays a bigger part. It's just a part. I would say that things like the nut even plays a very similar role when played open. Obviously, when you fret it, then your frets are in play, and your frets matter more. But all those things matter. I don't think that one of them matter more than the others. I think it's just fine-tuning what you've got. You can't change the body and the neck unless you literally screw up a Tele neck. But if you got a Les Paul or something that's set neck, can't change any of that. You get what you get, and you don't throw a fit.
So you don't think a pickup has more of a difference than the shape of the body?
Okay, let me put it this way. I don't think the pickup, if you're comparing similar style of pickups, probably have much of a difference. If you go and play a Melody Maker, a little Melody Maker, double cut Melody Maker, and you compare it to an Explorer or whatever, it's going to sound radically different, even if it's the same pickups. I don't think that it's... Obviously, if you put a Seymour Duncan Invader into a Les Paul, and then you change it out for something super low output, it's going to have a massive difference. Of course that does. I'm not saying that. I'm saying comparable. So if you've got PAF style pickups and you're swapping one PAF for another, it versus the body shape or the wood material, I think it's probably pretty similar.
Okay. So when I go and look at, let's say, a Les Paul, just flat, a Les Paul, and I'm looking at the wood, let's say it's, I don't know, mm, I might be speaking out of context. There's a Les Paul that doesn't have a maple cap, and I'm thinking it's the Studio, but maybe the new Studios have a maple cap.
Well, and the customs didn't used to, right? Customs were mahogany. But I know what you're saying. Go ahead.
So, okay, let's maybe change it up. Let's say I'm talking about a Les Paul Special, and it's got two P90s.
Yep.
It's all mahogany.
Yep.
And then you go to a Les Paul Standard 50s that's got the maple cap and it's a gold top. Technically still has the same bridge system, different wood. That makes just as much of a difference as changing out, let's say, a PAF style pickup with
a different version of a PAF pickup.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
I completely say that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you take one of those and you swapped it out for a different set of these, I feel like it's the same way.
Okay.
I mean, there's no way to test it. There's literally no way to test these things.
So people have done A/B tests, but it's really hard to replicate the same touch towards a different time stamp. Does that make sense?
You can't do that even if you get the same piece of wood two pieces of wood from the same tree.
Yeah.
They're not going to be exactly the same.
No, for sure.
It's just impossible to do. And you can't test like, oh, we'll build the guitar the exact same, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
You can't get the same exact whines on every single pickup most of the time. You know, like it's a little bit different. Oh, this whine is slightly over this way, or like the magnets, are they magnetized the exact same? Probably not.
Yeah.
One of them's probably stronger than others. You know, old pickups, sometimes you got to remagnetize. Like there's a million things and a million factors that go into it. And to not think that it's an all-in-one, all-encompassing thing that makes a difference, I think is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
I understand that some people think, oh, the wood doesn't matter, and like
or the fretboard doesn't matter.
Yeah, like what it's made of on the fret. Oh, yeah, it does. It does.
So I just want to say I agree with you. I think it's it's kind of like baking a cake. Like this ingredient is a little different this time. It's going to taste a little different.
Yeah.
It's like baking a cake.
It's like baking a cake. If you change one of the ingredients, the end outcome is different.
Whether you want to admit it or not.
It is different. And we talked a while back about people like not hearing things the same. Maybe it is like a little bit more of a niche thing to hear some of that stuff, but I mean, I know like Jim Lill put a video out a long time ago at this point where he was trying to replicate and prove that only the pickups is what mattered, and he like screwed a pickup to like the way it was tested does not make sense to me whatsoever for it to like prove anything. Like it completely makes sense to me that all the pieces together and it's all resonating at the same time with an amp that's resonating. All of it matters.
Mm-hmm. And I will say that I think there are bound to be more variables when you have a bolt-on neck.
Yeah.
Because you have different woods at play. It's not a set neck where it's, completely enveloped in the guitar. You have something that's screwed onto the body. Yeah. I feel like there's more variables there.
I think so too. You're trying to make two pieces of wood that aren't from the same tree, that are a different type of wood. I mean, these probably aren't from the same piece of tree either.
But it's the same type of wood.
But it's the same type of wood at least.
Yeah.
It's set in the guitar. It's not screwed in. How many times did he turn the screw on that neck plate to make sure it was tight? I mean, like all these things like...
Hide glue.
Yeah. Does hide glue matter? Does the screws that you choose to go in there? John Suhr,
yeah.
Whenever he makes his guitars, he puts little metal inserts into the neck. And then whenever he screws it on, he's got a bolt that screws in there. So the connection's metal to metal, super hard contact, and it's supposed to carry all the vibrations a little bit better. It's supposed to be better contact and stuff. I think maybe Anderson done that at one time too. There's been a couple makers that have done that in the past.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think there's one thing that matters more. Except for The player.
The player's the only thing that matters.
The player, well, not the only thing. It's the most important thing.
Okay, most important. So you let us know what your thoughts are.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe we're crazy,
I don't. Yeah.
or maybe we don't want to know.
No, we definitely want to hear their thoughts. I just get nervous, because this one here it's a touchy subject for some people, and some people don't want to believe that anything matters except for the pickups. And if that's the case, maybe it doesn't matter to you, but I definitely think it makes a difference, and it matters to me.
I would say, regardless of what you think of the tone, maybe it psychologically can affect somebody. Like, you don't think it sounds as good, so you're not playing as good. So therefore it matters.
It changes the tone, folks.
I don't know. You let us know, guys.
Right down below. We'll see you guys next week.
See ya.